Hi and welcome to the Belfry. My name is Chris Ryan and this is Ryder Cup week, and what better place to do a video than on the 18th hole on the Brabazon course, hosting the Ryder Cup 4 times over the years, the last one being in 2002, and I thought I'd use this as an opportunity to do a video on maybe how to hit your long irons a little bit better. So where am I hitting my iron shot from? Well, I'm hitting it from exactly the spot at which Christy O'Connor hit a 2-iron in the Ryder Cup in 1999 in his match. And if anybody remember that shot, the flag was on the middle tier and it was a fantastic shot with the 2-iron landing, rolling up to very, very close, and it was a historic shot. So I'm going to go from exactly the same spot. There's a plaque in the fairway here, as you can see, so this is not an estimated, this is exactly where he hit his shot from. Now, slightly different situation upon the green. The flag is actually on the back of the green, slightly different to where it was when Christy played his shot, and that probably makes his shot play probably a good 20 yards further. This is a green which is almost 65 yards deep, so when that flag is front, middle or back, it makes a massive difference. So the 200 marker is over there. That's the middle of the green. I'm about 5 yards behind that. So that's 205 yards to the middle, another 20 yards to the flag. I've got in the region of 225 yards here. I'm hitting a 3-iron. Christy hit a 2-iron. Now, I'm guessing that his 2-iron probably looked a little bit harder to hit than my 3-iron, and the golf ball he used probably wasn't as good a quality, but we're going to go through how we can play this. So, long irons are a shot which many golfers struggle with. A lot of it is just experience. They've hit these clubs many times before and not hit them particularly well. So when they approach the golf ball, they're already expecting to hit a poor shot, and obviously that's where many of the issues become evident. Now, we know that this club has got low loft. We can see that, and we know that it's very difficult because the club length is so long. We're going to go through a couple of things, not so many technical changes, because when you hit a long iron, you don't really do anything technically different, but maybe just how you approach the shot and what you're trying to do might help you hit these shots a little bit better. So first of all, let's talk about ball position. Now, ball position needs to be slightly more up in the stance or slightly more forward relative to maybe something like a 6-iron or a 7-iron. So I'm going to play this ball probably about 2/3 forward in my stance. Now, what that's going to do is it's going to mean that my approach to the golf ball isn't quite as steep as it would be for a mid-iron. Really important that we understand that when you're hitting the golf ball from the ground with a long iron, as we are here, we still need the golf club to make contact with the ball with a descending blow, so an attack angle which is working downwards. That doesn't necessarily mean you're going to take a divot, because we don't want that down angle as much as it would be with a wedge or an 8-iron. What we don't, however, want is an attack angle which is far too shallow, or even a positive attack angle. And that is where often the situations that golfers don't play too well arise. They'll often have the ball too far up in the stance, thinking they need to get more shallow. They will often have a little bit too much weight on the back leg, again believing that they need this to get the ball in the air. And all those things do really is make the attack angle far too shallow. They either hit the ground before the ball or they thin the ball. The results are therefore not as good as they would like. So by playing the ball 2/3 forward, what that's going to mean is it shallows out my attack a little bit, but not to the point where it's going to be too shallow. I would still like on this shot to take a small divot after the golf ball. That doesn't mean that you're going to, but the idea of taking a small divot would actually help you hit these shots a little bit better. The second thing we're going to look at really is just the tempo and the rhythm of the golf swing. Very often if golfers are struggling with a certain club, these long irons for example, they can often make their backswing a little quicker. It can sometimes get a little bit shorter, and the transition can get a little bit quicker as well. Transition being when we move from backswing to downswing. So what I'd really like you to do when you're hitting these long irons is just make sure that backswing is full, and make sure that we are not rushing from the top. When I say not rushing, what I mean is that as we transition, we're starting to shift some pressure. And if we start to shift some pressure, we start to engage our lower body. We start to enable us to get into a more desirable impact, and that's going to help us strike that golf ball better. Many golfers, when they get a little bit tense, a little bit quick, will often get a backswing that's a little short, arms start down too quick, we don't engage the lower body, and again, what that does, it makes it very, very difficult to get the lowest part of the swing, target side of the golf ball. So, what are we trying to do? We're trying to still get a negative attack angle, that's number one. And we're trying to really be aware of the tempo and how we begin our downswing. If we can do those things and keep the rhythm nice, trust the loft that's on the golf club, trust the fact that the length of the club is longer, that's going to help you generate some more natural speed without you having to do it intentionally. And those two things are going to hopefully get that ball into the air with a nice strike and the distance that you require. Right, let's see if I can do as good a job as Christy did. I'm guessing there was probably a little bit more pressure on him than there is on me because there's no one around. It's about 9 o'clock in the morning here, so certainly nowhere near the situation that he was in. But let's have a go. So, ball 2/3 forward. I'm going to try and make a nice smooth transition and still feel like I take a small divot after the golf ball. That might get back there, or it might be on, well, it's landed on the middle tier and I don't think it's rolled up the back. No, it hasn't. It's kind of got halfway up the bank. So that's actually left me on the wrong tier. But I've got a putt. It's probably only about 20-25 feet. Not as good as Christy's shot, but that was an exceptionally good shot. If you don't remember what that shot was, go onto YouTube, type it in. I'm sure there's loads of videos on there. You can see just how good that shot was. Not quite as good for myself there, but I'm certainly going to take that from 220 odd yards, leaving myself a putt. So long irons, not easy, but if you can get the right concept, get the right idea, really think about your tempo and the timing of your golf swing, you'll hopefully hit some better shots. Maybe as good as Christy, certainly probably better than mine there. Thanks again for watching. Hopefully those tips are going to help you. If they did, please hit the like button down below. If you don't already, please subscribe. And last thing, sorry, you already said that, please subscribe. Link in the description box down below, just means you won't miss any of the content that's going up every week. Thanks again for watching. See you again soon.